Ceviche, take one. Welcome to Making Ceviche. First, let's answer the question, what is ceviche? Ceviche is a traditional, excuse me, is a traditional seafood marinated preparation that comes out of Spain. And of course, they have it in South America and many of the other Latin countries, Mexico. They all kind of have their versions. But the origin here and the language use of the spelling of the word even, it comes from Spain. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to make some scallop ceviche, which is probably the most well-known in the U.S. Although I will remind you before we even get started here, and this is not a long video either. This is I'm going to show you how to put it together to marinate first, and then we're going to come back. I'm going to give it a couple of hours to marinate, and then we'll come back and do some presentation work. But I'll tell you about that in a minute. But back to what is ceviche. Again, I said I'm going to use scallops to show you today because that's very well known here in the United States. But you can put all kinds of things in there, diced fish of any kind almost. As long as the fish is fresh, you can put it in there. And I want to answer the question now about what takes place in the bowl. In this particular case, I've got about a cup and a half, cup and a quarter of sea scallops that I cleaned and diced, yes. And I'm going to put them in a bowl here. And they, if you can come down here, I started out with these 20-30 size fresh scallops. And I cleaned all of the little sinews, which is what this little pile is. I cleaned that off of all these. And these are the little things that are here. This is what connects the scallop to its shell, you see. These have to come off. These are considered to be undesirable. I left a couple for you just to see what that was real quick. And what I did with these scallops, now you can use regular base scallops or you can use any size you want. And you could even leave these almost whole and cut them in half that way and marinate them if you want. No problem. But what I chose to do was to dice them a little bit like that. And you'll see why I chose that size in a few minutes. So I have my 1.5 cups of scallops in the bowl here. And we're done with this stuff. And the sinews are garbage. I'm going to throw that out. So we're going to put, I have fresh lemon juice and fresh lime juice. Now fresh lime juice, of course, is the primary component for the marinade in terms of the citrus, okay? And I'm going to put the lime juice right in there like that. And I'm going to put a little bit of fresh squeezed lemon juice in there too because I like it with both. And we're going to put some extra virgin olive oil in here. And I think what I'm going to do is, for this marinade, I'm going to put the balance of the scallops whole in here also. And I will just take out what I want because I want you to know that you can also do them whole and how they come out. They just take a little bit longer for the marinade. Now, the classic ingredients, and this has a tendency to be a spicy dish, are some kind of hot chili. I'm not going to do that today. It isn't certainly a requirement, and just add it if you want to. You can also add dried red chilies to it if you want. But we're going to put some fresh cilantro in there. And I didn't chop everything because, I don't know, for some reason people get a kick out of watching me chop things. But I like this particular preparation with a fair amount of cilantro. So I have a small whole bunch there, okay? And we're going to put some garlic in there. Got to have that. Got about 2 to 3 tablespoons of fresh chopped garlic. And we're going to put some minced purple onion in there. I'm going to mince this onion up a little bit. I have an actual video in the basics section of this website that teaches you how to dice an onion like this. And that's more than enough. Let me see here. That's more than enough. I don't need that much. I don't need the whole onion, so put that aside. Let's see if I can clean myself up just a touch here before I continue. Okay, now I've got a red bell pepper, half, and I got a little bit of red bell pepper red, green and red. And we're going to mince those two up. Just flatten them out a little bit. Now, always when you're mincing your bell peppers, the skin side should be face down. Okay, we'll add the red pepper to that. And cut the half of the pepper, green pepper in half. Flatten that out a little bit. Let's see if we can stack this up into it. Pepper. And I've got some fresh ground black pepper here. I'm going to put some of that in there. Probably a whole teaspoon. I'll put a little bit of salt. A little bit later, after it marinates, I may want to put a pinch of sugar in it. It depends what it tastes like. And now we're going to mix this up. Now, typically what you would do, you cover this up with plastic wrap, and you put this in your refrigerator. And you let it marinate. And something takes place during the marinating process with the ceviche that is significant and important for you to understand. The first question you're saying was, he's not cooking the fish, so how's it going to be cooked? The fish gets cooked in a different way than when you cook fish with heat. When you cook fish with heat, you're pretty much driving the blood and the juice and the waters out of the fish, and that's the difference between it being raw and cooked. Well, what happens in this marinade is the process of osmosis during this, what we call period of maceration, which is the period of time in which it is sitting in this liquid, absorbing and dispelling its own juices and the juices that it is marinating in. So osmosis cooks the fish. It's actually cooked, and it will not have a sense of rawness to it. Now, some people like the sense of rawness a little bit, and so they may not want to marinate it too long. But the longer it sits in the marinated, the more cooked it gets. You could say such a thing as overcooking it in the marinade. So I'm going to plastic wrap this and put it in the fridge, and then in a couple hours I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you a couple of ways to garnish and embellish this particular preparation with three very cool items: cucumber, papaya, and avocado. Yes, I have a California avocado, a pink ripe papaya, and some nice cucumber. And we're going to do a little combination of stuffing some of this in a tomato, stuffing an avocado, and then just putting it on a plate or garnishing the bowl with those three items too. So I'll see you in a couple hours right now after this gets marinated. All right, we're going to finish that ceviche now. It's been in the fridge marinating for about 2.5 hours. Now, the whole scallops, which I'm going to leave in there, are not 100% quote cooked yet via the osmosis that I spoke to you about. But the longer they sit around, the longer they will. But not everybody necessarily wants their scallops completely bled by the osmosis process. So I'm going to make one little presentation for you here, talk to you about a couple of other ones. We're going to do this one as if this is like for a little party or something, okay? So I have a platter here, And I have all the ceviche. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by cutting a romaine heart, which is what this is. And we're going to give ourselves some shredded lettuce. You certainly could use iceberg for this if you wanted. Romaine is nice, though. It's got nice color. They both have nice color. I'm going to put a little bit here because we want to mound the ceviche here a little bit, okay? I'm going to get my hands in here. Using an oval platter, so we're going to make an oval mound. Oh, this looks good. I tasted this, by the way, and it didn't need any sugar added to it. It was nice. We'll wait, I think, and pour some of the marinade on at the end. Now, you can cook. Some people put cooked shrimp directly into this. I'm not a big fan of doing that. Let's just put a little bit of lettuce now around the bottom here. I think that's enough, just half that head of romaine heart. Now I have some cucumber, avocado, and papaya here. And I'm going to cut some of that up to garnish this. Now, of course, if you want, at the very last minute, you can put those components, the cucumber, avocado, and papaya, into the marinade for 10 or 15 minutes before you put it out here also. I tend to like it unaffected by the marinade, so one can marry the fresh tasting cucumber, avocado, or papaya with the ceviche at will, so to speak. Let's start with some cucumber here. I didn't cut it all the way through, so I just nipped off the edge there. Scoop some of that. And avocado, which I cut in half and took the pits out, and then scooped them with this right out of the California avocado shell, which is, there's nothing wrong with Florida avocados, but Californias are certainly...
Could you show us that again, John, please?
This one here?
Yeah, how you did it.
Oh, sure. The best way to do it is just do a quick boom, 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 like this. Cut it in half. You can take your knife, help you get the pit out. And you take your spoon, get in there like that, and there you have it. There's your half avocado. Okay? Now, you could, of course, stuff this with ceviche, and let's say the hole isn't big enough, you could make the hole even bigger with the spoon, so you have something more to put the ceviche in, or also get a larger avocado. All right, let's do a little bit more garnishing here. Slice this avocado up. This is nice. This is a beautiful, absolutely perfect California avocado here too. Just fan that out a little bit like that. And we'll do the same thing to the other one. Such a nice, luxurious combination of foods to garnish the ceviche with. Everybody loves avocado. It's rich. Papaya is rich. It has a sense of, both of these, papaya and avocado particularly, have a sense of wealth to them because of just the nature of this fruit. It's so sweet and has that exotic impact on people so much when they eat it. And we got a little bit of sliced up papaya there. And we'll do a little bit more. Put some of that over there. And, whoops, let's do this here. Let's slide this over here next to the cucumber. And let's put a little bit more cucumber in here. So we got two little fanned out piles of each one of these. Of course, you can dice this stuff up too, you know. Make piles of dice. I kind of like the slicing effect. So, but, okay. Now I got a lime here. And I'm going to put some pieces of lime like this. A little pile like that. So anybody should happen to walk up to this to help themselves at your little party that you're serving this at. They know those limes are there for functional reasons. You pick one up and squeeze it on your food. I'll make another little pile of limes over here. And let's take and put some of the marinade on here. Let's just put all the marinade on here. Why screw around? Okay. And I have some more cilantro, which is part of the whole ceviche thing. And let's just get ourselves a little floret of cilantro here. Let's stick that in there like that. And let's put a little bit of olive oil on the fruit here also. Oh yeah, now we're starting to talk turkey here. I don't think you need too much more. That's a really nice, if this is a summer type item for you and you're making it, I think you'll want to win them over at this. Somebody served this to me on their patio by the pool with a glass of wine. I would fall in love, get their address, and continue to come back forever. Anyway, there we go. Classic kind of style scallop ceviche, origin of Spain, but made here in America and at the seasoned cook especially. You enjoy this one. Have a great time with it. Bye-bye.